Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Now, today we're going to be talking about The Roommate. Now, I have quite a history with The Roommate. This is one that I rented when it first came out on video, and I really liked it, and I watched it a lot. And then it got put away for a while. And this was on my mind pretty much first and foremost when Joe and I decided to do the series Positive Spin, because this one had always gotten a lot of hate. This is basically like Single White Female, and it's almost the same movie to a T. It follows the tropes of the stalker, and yeah. So, like I said, this was first and foremost on my mind because I never understood the hate for this. And in watching it with Joe, and when you watch something with someone for the very first time, because this was a first time view for Joe, and it had been a while for me as well, I was really curious to see what he thought about it. And like I thought, he loved it. So let's put a positive spin on The Roommate. First of all, I love the college campus and I love the dorms. They have a realistic look to them. The cast is definitely believable. You have Leighton Meisner and Minka Kelly, and they basically play the interchangeable roommates. And an interesting thing, though, Joe actually told me that a lot of people mix them up. So it's interesting that they cast both of these uh, young women in the parts that they had. All right, I like the soundtrack, and one of the things I really enjoyed was the boyfriend, um, Cam Gigadet. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not really sure. I had seen him in a lot of stuff in that time period, like Never Back Down and Priest. And while he played a good bad guy and Never Back Down, he was really good in this. And I like the fact that he was in a band because being a musician, you don't always get that aspect in a film itself. So I like the soundtrack. I like the fact that he was in a band. I like the relationship between the girl and her roommate. It seems realistic. Billy Zane is also in this, and he plays a professor, kind of a sleazy professor. So I liked his part in it because the Leighton Meisner wants to be no Minka Kelly, I believe, wants to be a fashion designer, and he plays her professor, and he's pretty sleazy. Every single girl, pretty much in this film, is good to look at, which really, really helps. I mean, they're all super attractive. Leighton Meisner makes a good villain. Yes, she does. Um, I like and hate the use of animals, and I'm going to compare something which I don't normally do, but they use an animal in this one the same way they do in Single White Female. Like I said, this one follows that formula almost to a T. And that's almost what I consider it now as a formula. You know, people can say it's a direct ripoff. Well, you know, Halloween had a lot of direct ripoffs, but we love them as well. And I tend to judge a movie based on its own merits. So, you know, the fact that it's a lot like Single White Female, this one for me worked. Whereas Single White Female, I liked it, but I just liked the roommate better. I don't know why. Maybe it's the characters. Maybe I don't know. Just something about it. And the use of animals. While I don't like any animal getting harmed, it makes an effective plot twist. Now, her backstory, the roommate's backstory, is interesting because it's not what you expect. You expect someone who's been mistreated or has been, I guess, according to the tropes, like an orphan or someone who has been displaced in life. That's not the case here. And I like the backstory. I'm not going to say what it is because you got to watch it for yourself, but I like that it's a little bit different. And the end fight is pretty cool. I like the extremes that the roommate goes to. And I'm not saying that she didn't in, Sink White Female or whatever, but for some reason, it just seemed kind of barbaric. I don't know. But yeah, this movie is fantastic. I've always liked it. I'm glad to be able to introduce it to Joe because, like I said, this was one that was on my mind first and foremost when we decided to create Positive Spin. It's just a while till we can get to some things. And that's one of the things about Positive Spin is doing it every week. You're always going to have an opportunity to introduce a film or do something that you haven't seen in a long time. And I think that's a lot of fun. So I'm glad to be able to introduce this to Joe. I know he felt pretty much the same way I did about it because we both really enjoyed it. And check it out or don't. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And don't forget to check out Joe's video for The Roommate. And until next time, peace.